They're drafting 21st, and I think they're going to stay there because historically, Tom Telesco, he's never traded up, and seldom do you trade back that far back. My gut feel is, and they're going to get a really good player at 21. Now they'll get their choice. They could give the new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore an early Christmas gift. Give him a pass catching tight end. And to me, that's Dalton Kincaid or Mike Mayers. Kincaid, Utah, caught 70. Mayers at Notre Dame, caught in the 50s, but he's a much better blocker. They could go tight end there. It's weird with Austin Eckler and all that productivity that they might consider doing something with Bijan Robinson at Texas. But Robinson had an 1,800-yard rushing season for the Longhorns, and this is a stud. Now, they may bail out there because the rumblings are somebody's going to take Robinson maybe in the top 15. They do need defensive tackle help. It might be a reach at 21, but there's a really good defensive tackle from the University of Pittsburgh that I think they're going to pay attention to. His name is Kalijah Cansey. A lot of people have compared him favorably to Aaron Donald, former Pitt Panther star. Taking him at 21 might be a little early. He's not going to be there in the second round, I'll guarantee you that. And then there's a group of wide receivers because they're going to need a replacement a year from now for one of the veterans who's going to get cut. Either Keenan Allen's going away or Mike Williams is going away because they can't afford to have two receivers with cap figures of $30 million. So the wide receivers that they might look at, it's worth considering. Jordan Addison from Southern Cal, more of a route runner than a real burner. And a kid who's really risen through his private meetings is Zay Flowers from Boston College, speed guy. And there's also a really good wide receiver from Tennessee, though to take him at 21 is a little bit early. So I think that's what the Chargers are going to do. I think pass-catching tight end is probably the way to go. Now, something weird could happen in front of them where both Kincaid and Mayers could get selected. Somebody could go 15, somebody could go 19. Chargers wouldn't get them at 21. But if that happens, that means somebody else is coming down the board. And it might be the running back. It might be the defensive tackle. You're a Charger fan, aside from hating the owner. You do like the offense. You love the quarterback. I know that.
Sure.
So tell me, who would you take?
Well, I'm going back to that game where they collapsed against the Jaguars in the playoffs. What went wrong that day, and who can they draft to maybe solve that problem?
Well, they've had historical problems stopping the run, which means stud cement block defensive tackle. That's the kid out of Pitt. But is that a reach? He's projected at the back end of the first round, maybe. Is it a reach to grab him at 21? They don't historically trade back, so you couldn't say, well, Tom Telesco, general manager, trade from 21 back to 25, get some additional picks. Well, because you don't know if somebody else will jump in there and take the kid from Pitt. And they've never, ever really done that. They've never been aggressive on draft day. But you're correct. They haven't stopped the run in 3 years. And the debacle against Jacksonville, how's that taste in your mouth? Here we are in April, and you're talking about bad taste in your mouth dating back to January. So that really bears consideration going forward. And you got the wide receiver thing you're going to have to deal with at someplace, because once you get beyond the top two stars and then the third wide receiver, Joshua Palmer, who I think we all like, they don't have a burner. They really need deep down the field speed. Just look across the border, Kansas City. God, they got burners everywhere. That's what the Chargers have to consider there. Okay, on we go.